Moving to the next section, which is section 5, visualization or visualizing. So we have talked till this point in time how the data get collected, how the data can be analyzed, what are those algorithms. We have talked about the machine learning algorithms, different type of machine learning algorithms. We have also talked about how the data get processed from the perspective of regression analysis, from the perspective of sequencing, from the perspective of classification, so on and so forth. So once everything has been done, everything has been analyzed, the last step, as we call it, is the visualization of data. So once you have processed the data, you need to put those data in a more readable format where users or the end users or your stakeholders can basically use that data in a visual format, and then they can take the decision for carrying out their task in a more smoother manner. So this section will focus on the visual tools which are available when an organization is trying to implement any data analytics project. So section 5.1, it's a explanatory and exploratory analysis. So as part of visualization, as part of visualizing, we will see those charts and graphs and various other tools which can basically help you to analyze the data from the perspective of explanatory and from the perspective of exploratory as well. So section 5.1.1 describe the explanatory and exploratory graphics. So if you see, data visualization is most powerful technique to analyze the findings and present them to the stakeholders who will now be able to take the important business decisions, and they will be able to formulate their study based on the overall data which is presented to them. So formulation of strategy is the ultimate outcome when you are trying to have these data analytics projects done. So during the data analytics projects, we collect the large amount of data for the relevant business, and we subject these data to the machine learning models for testing our hypothesis about what the data is trying to tell us. So once we have collected the data, we'll try to use those data through various models, which can be the machine learning algorithm models, and then we try to do the kind of hypothesis testing. We'll try to do the kind of prediction. So your hypothesis about the data is trying to tell us how the future prediction can be done across. So as a part of data visualization, what we will do is we will create these charts and plots and graphs, and that these charts, graph or plots can basically help us analyze what we can carry out what if analysis. We can again do a drill down of data through the exploratory manner. So we can use various tools where we can go deeper into the analysis once those data is depicted in form of charts, graph, or various plots. So as we see, there are two main types of visualization use cases. The first one is the explanatory graphics. So in the case of explanatory graphics, so these graphics are created only for the external audience to explain what the outcome of data analytic projects are all about. So how the data analytic project is is coming across, and the outcome can be shared with your external audience with the likes of explanatory graphics. So you use the explanatory graphics in order to show your outcomes to the external audience through the likes of explanatory graphics. So this type of visualization is basically used to communicate to all the external audience through narrative and storytelling that will help to support take them those decisions. So your plots, your charts basically will help those people for making better decision making through the likes of explanatory graphics. So in the case of exploratory graphic, this type of visualization is all about exploring the data deeper to study the kind of patterns, the kind of distributions, or the kind of outliers, or any kind of anomalies in your relationship. So you can have a linear relationship, you can have clusters associated with your data, you can have classification associated with your data. So all these are the examples of exploratory graphics, where exploratory analysis is normally done during the initial stage of visualization process to ensure your hypothesis is working. So your exploratory graphics basically helps you to explore your hidden patterns, and it is used for hypothesis testing. So that is primarily meant for your internal set of audience, because you cannot use your or you cannot give your exploratory graphics to the external audience, because for the external audience you need to define and explain them the phenomena, and that can be done only through the explanatory graphics. So as we say, your data visualization is again it's more of those powerful tool where you try to communicate your findings to your business stakeholders. And as we discussed, the data visualization can be primarily classified with the likes of exploratory and the explanatory graphics. So section 5.2, charts and plot. So now this section 5.2.1, it gives you various illustrations of the types of charts which are used in various data analytics projects for the visualization. So there are several charts which can be used to present the data analytics outcome in the way that is easier for your decision makers to interpret. So some of the common data visualization charts are described as we can see it over here. So the line chart, as we see, is the most commonly used as a data visualization technique or a data visualization chart. So your line chart basically helps you to visualize the changes in one variable against another variable. An example for such is your income across age brackets, or your searching of your traffic plotted over the time. So if you see this across uh, you know uh, the kind of percentage of youth who is using your various platform, which is the likes of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter, you can try to plot those things in form of your line chart. So you can definitely see over the years how these applications, whether it's like of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter, how these have been used by the youth population over a period of time. So you can definitely use the line chart for better understanding and for better visualization. On a similar line, we can always use the bar charts. So your bar chart basically presents your data variables using the vertical or horizontal bars, and these are ideal for the visualization of discrete data with a limited number of categories. So if you have limited number of categories, say A, B, C, D, or 5 or 6 category, you can definitely think of using a bar chart. And the biggest condition is, for using the bar chart, you need to have the discrete data. Your data has to be in a discrete format, and you can visualize those through the likes of bar chart, and it becomes relatively more easy. So the two conditions are, you should have a limited number of categories, and second is you need to have a discrete data. So there can be a question asked, where you use the bar chart. So the conditions are, you should have a discrete set of data with a limited number of categories, and in that case you can definitely think of using the bar chart.